So my name is Pimpaling Thongkun. I'm the president of Thailand Energy Storage Technology Association. As we are a newly established association, first I would like to basically introduce us a little bit on who we are. Thailand Energy Storage Association is basically an association that was started in 2020. And it has been transforming into Thailand Energy Storage Association in 2021. We have a mission to connect stakeholders, provide facts and figures to decision makers, educate general public, promote understanding, nurture technological advancement on energy storage technology in Thailand. So currently we have about 110 members. We came out of EVAT, which the president was just previously presenting about what's going on regarding EV in Thailand. But because the evolution of electric vehicles, energy storage is truly needed, and that's why energy storage technologies and also industries are very important for what's happening in Thailand and also the region. So our members, we have over 100 members, all through the value chain, from mining, refining, materials, parts, cell packs, system integration, also testing equipments and all. So we are also welcoming you here today to check us out in the booth we have downstairs, and also what we are holding as a symposium, our annual symposium this week. So what we do, I said that we are basically connecting people, provide facts and figures. But what do we do? What we have done is we have been trying to also help or assist the government in what's going on regarding the transformation of industry and also policy in energy in Thailand. So because Thailand has a national electric vehicle policy, the committee, the association has been part of it in understanding and also trying to help what's needed in terms of the battery or energy storage infrastructure. We also were actually part of the committee in the National Energy Storage Technology Promotion Committee, which is now being basically also partially combined with what's going on in the electric vehicle landscape in Thailand. What we do, other things, is we try to have the industrial and usage promotion, collaboration international and nationally, that's why we have delegates today. We hope to basically have a strong connections between not just Thailand, but what's going on around the ASEAN and the area, as we are one of the largest regional hub for first electric vehicle, and also the demand for green energy, and also the highest, one of the highest population area that we could actually create our ecosystem that can be completed and also assist what the world is going. People in the academia or industry, but also general public, to understand the importance and also how we would actually use it correctly, and also to lower the barrier of entry for the adaptation of what's needed for the green transformation. So why energy storage is important? You all know that we are racing towards net zero. Different countries have different targets. One is earlier and the others are later. 2040, 2050, 2060, and for Thailand. And for Thailand is 2065 for net zero greenhouse gas emission. Energy storage plays an important role in many aspects, right? This is, so you know that Thailand has a target, roadmap for Thailand net zero strategy in reaching 69% of the new vehicles registered to be in 2035. So we have to have it as the zero emission vehicle, which is likely coming from the energy storage. The other important target is the 50% of renewable embracement into our power system, and that comes from fluctuating renewable energy, which actually needs to be handled. You can see that for global energy flow, this is 2021, right? For the first part in the purple is the energy need and flow into the transportation sector, which comes mostly from oil and gas or fossil fuels. The green one is bioenergy, natural gas is blue, and then renewable part is very low on this chart. But you can see that when it comes to 2050, what has to happen? In our segment, you can see that the flow from renewable energy, solar, wind, or other things, right, biomass, goes into all the sectors of applications ranging from the transportation segment on the top to other industry like and also other residential and services as well on the bottom. You can see that the yellow from solar and wind and other things are actually contributing much to the transformation to the net zero scenario. So with that, that's why it's important for lithium or other energy storage energy to basically have a high market growth and also have to be expanding in terms of the industrialization and adaptation. So this is a chart from McKinsey seeing that the revenue of market of energy storage, especially for the lithium ion, which is mainly used for EV and other and partially for other things, are basically growing much. And not just for the EV, you can see that the BESS or battery energy storage for stationary is growing as well in 30%. And that means that there needs to be more than 100 new battery factories by 2030. That's why we are here today. What year is this? It's 2024, right? 6 years from now, how are we going to be transforming industrially? So because of renewable energy is basically not stable, fluctuated. The bottom part is how much energy is being curtailed each year in the terawatt hour from not being, curtailed means not being used because it cannot be accepted into the system because it's not needed right when it's being produced. So energy storage is actually bridging between production and usage, right? And that's why. And with that, if we actually have the implementation and adaptation good enough, acceptable enough, energy storage can account for 39% of greenhouse gas emission from this adaptation in the power system and the transportation adaptation of electrification. So that's why a lot of people and a lot of pages and news say, okay, battery storage or technologies, energy storage technologies become a global enabler for the energy transition. And it's also a bottleneck to basically, for us as a researcher or technologist to go forward and hope to actually be adopting further. Challenges in this is that we have seen that adaptation in the electric vehicle is also acceptable in terms of performance and also price. But what's happening and is not just yet have been met is that for the renewable energy integration into the system, energy storage technologies that are bridging between the demand and supply side, what's happening is that the cost has to be reduced by about targeting to about 90%. Right now, lithium ion is about 4 to 6 baht per kilowatt hour. And how are we going to get to the 1 baht per kilowatt hour per cycle? Production is basically cheaper than storing. Solar is producing at about 2 baht per kilowatt hour, but then storing it is 4 to 6 baht. So total, you basically pay more for storage rather than the production. And how is that going to be so? May become a hard and a good role in terms of the adaptation into the next stage of our integration of renewable energy. But the other challenge is not just the cost, technological and performances. The other is the sustainability. Whether you have enough resources to build a storage system that supply to be used for all the renewables that are being produced. So that has to also be considered. The other is whether the storage technologies that are available now are going to actually be green enough, not just being green during the usage, but end of life, what's happening, right? So in this one, I guess I will end it with all the challenges, but there are some work that Tesla is is addressing. For example, there are certain things like safety challenge in how do you handle. There's standard regulation. We have a working group on there. There's a challenge in terms of the end-of-life handling, so we have a working group on end-of-life management. The other is how do you actually use it correctly so that it's safe and also not just safe physically, but also save your money. The other group that we are also establishing right now is also, we have been working on this standard swappable battery for small vehicles so that batteries can be repaired, used, and be widely accepted using the common parts so that less waste can be generated and end of life can be handled more correctly and also more environmentally friendly. So for working group 2, we just basically published one of the white paper on the current status on the end-of-life battery handling in Thailand, and we hope to actually establish that relation. We have already talked to the ASEAN countries that we have signed MOU with in order to actually expand on how we would do that in the region. Also on the standardization of the battery, for small vehicles, which is especially very special for ASEAN country.